What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black, T-E-V-E-E, the Black. I'm back. Look at me, 4 videos in a row for me, because I did one obviously Sunday for the review, Monday for my more thoughts after the game, yesterday to talk about why the heck we just can't catch a break with these injuries, and now today with my predictions video for the Eagles and Lions. 4 days in a row. But hey, that's what I guess I signed up for that when I chose to be an Eagles fan, right? And it's just always something to talk about. Good, bad, or unfortunate. So I've been thinking about this all day while at work, and I'm just like, okay, what can we possibly do to win this game Sunday? Because as I've said it all week, this is a must-win game. It's a must-win game, because if we lose this game, I'm like 99.9% sure we're going to lose to Green Bay. Now, I was like 85% sure we were going to lose to Green Bay even with our weapons, but I gave us a better chance with them. I give us a better chance with them than without them. And without Dallas Goedert, Alshon Jeffrey, and Deshaun Jackson, it's just, we got to go in there against Aaron Rodgers, and it's just like, I don't like those odds without our guys, right? But anyway, so I'm thinking, what? How can we win this game? And I'm gonna say this: I love Doug Peterson. We all do. He obviously did something that no other coach in Philadelphia had done before. He won the Super Bowl in his second year, mind you, with a backup quarterback, even, mind you, beating the greatest dynasty in the NFL history, mind you, even that. He did all of it. He won the Super Bowl. And then last year, when our backs were against the corner, we win our final 4 or 5 games, and we make it into the playoffs. Now, obviously, we need some help from the Bears, but we had to do our part too. And we did. We go into the playoffs, and then we win a playoff game against the very favorite Chicago Bears. And then on top of that, we should have beat the Saints a week later. So it would have been back-to-back NFC Championship games. Now, I think we would have lost to the Rams, but I would have been like, oh my God. We were at one point saying, bro, we're not going to make the playoffs to we in the NFC Championship game? But, I mean, so props to Doug. Obviously, love Doug. Best coach we ever had. I know Andy Reid is the most he's the most winnable. Yes, he's the most winnable coach in this, but he obviously never did the big thing, which is win the Super Bowl. And then, dare I say, I don't know if he has the ability to do what Doug did last year. But the one critical thing I have of Doug Peterson is this: why don't you run the ball? And it's very frustrating when he has to relearn the same lesson year after year after year after year. Doug, run the ball. Doug, make sure you run the ball. Doug, run the ball. Doug, make sure you run the ball. If running the ball was not an option, I'm sure he'd be thrilled and he would just throw all game. But that's not an option. The point of running the ball is to give your quarterback, it's the number one, wear down the defense. And number 2 is to give your quarterback, dare I say, a break, but just, hey, here, go over there and give me a few yards, you know, whatever. So it's just, I don't understand why you don't want to run the ball. I just don't get it. Well, now because we don't have Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson, now that we don't have Dallas Goedert, you can't do those 2 tight end sets that you want to do. Now you have no choice but to run the ball. Now you have to use Miles Sanders the way he's supposed to be used. Now you have to use Jordan Howard the way he's supposed to be used. Like, you're using Jordan Howard like he's Miles Sanders, and you're using Miles Sanders, I think, a little bit too much. Like, obviously the kid is special, but he's just not there at this point yet. So, it's just use Jordan Howard like you used LeGarrette Blount. Run this man up the middle. Not have him going side to side and catching passes. Now, he can catch a pass every now and then, sure. But run this man down the middle, through their throat. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And then obviously, like, I don't agree with John McMullen on a lot of things, but one thing I will agree with that he did say is the running backs don't have a defined role. And obviously, when Jordan Towers in, you know what the play is. If Darren Sproles is in the game, you know what the play might be. But Miles Sanders, you don't know, because he can both run and he can be a catch passing running back. So you have to run the ball, Doug. Please run the ball. And then we got to talk about these slow starts, man. He says, it's my fault. It's the plays I'm picking. Well, Doug, if you know this, why are you picking these plays? Last week, I gave you a pass because, okay, they didn't play in the preseason. I get it. They're just really getting their feet under them. Okay. What did I say the week of the Atlanta game? I said we cannot start off slow. Then what happens? We lose Alshon, Deshaun, and Dallas got, and I'm like, okay, I guess you lose your top stars. You got to throw your game plan at the one, I guess. But this week is no excuse. I mean, Dad, it's no excuse. Normally, what Doug does is if we win the toss, he defers because he wants the ball in the second half, and I agree with that. But I think we need, what is Doug's word? Aggressive. You've got to stay aggressive. So what I want Doug to do is if we win the toss, I want Doug to take it. We want the ball first because we want to be aggressive right out the gate. Why? Because this defense is trash and we have to play. It's better suited they play with the lead than us having to play catch up or it being a close game. Like we just cannot rely on this defense to bail us out. So you just can't do that. You just can't do that. So, and I want the first play to be a running play. I want that to happen. So that's that. Then obviously with JJ and Matt Collins, I will say this though. There is a bit of an unknown factor about them. You don't know anything. There's no tape on them. You're not going to go back and watch JJ in college. That doesn't matter. You're not going to go back. And Matt Collins, you know, he was dead last year. So we were like, oh, he dead. And now he's risen back from the grave like he's the Undertaker or something. Or he Jesus, I don't know. Now he's back. He's alive again. He's here. There's just not a lot of film. So teams don't know what to expect. What are you going to do with these guys? They're going to key in on Zach Ertz because he's obviously Carson Wentz's guy. They may or may not key in on Nelson Aguilar. He's really inconsistent, and you never know when he's going to drop a pass. So, but at the end of the day, it's just like, use the unknown factor to your advantage. It can work against the Lions. It may work against Green Bay. But then by the time teams start figuring them out, Alshon and Deshaun are going to be back. And then you'll be better. I texted Addy and I said, we about to see how good this depth really is. We were bragging about it all up to you. Oh, man, you see this depth we got, bro? Well, we about to see how good that depth is. I didn't want to see it, but we about to see how good they are. So, points of the game, or keys to the victory for the game, whatever. Run the ball. Use the unknown factor of the two receivers, Matt Collins and JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Use that to your advantage. No one knows what to expect from them because they haven't played. So use that to your ability. Obviously, they're going to key in on Zach Ertz. So use Nelson Aguilar to when he's available. Have him make plays. Carson, just take what's there. Don't try to force them. And please don't try and force it to Ertz. Because you know you're going to double cover him, probably, most likely. So just do all that. The offensive line, by running the ball, they'll play better. I attribute to them playing bad because, you know, we were in a very loud arena, and the Falcons' defensive line is very, very good. So before I get on out of here, I want to talk about this Jalen Ramsey thing real quick again. We need to make this move because our defense is trash. Again, as I stated, we cannot win with this defense. We just cannot. And I said this to Addy, and he said, well, we won with our defense, and it was trash. Really, it wasn't that good. Our secondary wasn't that good in 2017. And I said, yeah, but our defensive line was a beast in 2017. It was getting home. It was getting the sacks. It was getting the pressure. This year, it's different because they're getting the pressure, but they're not getting the sacks. And then because our defensive backs can't hold up all that much, the quarterbacks are just chucking them up, and dudes are catching them. And they're 60-yard bombs or 58 or whatever. Like, we need to be doing that to them. They shouldn't be doing that to us. So we need to trade for Jalen Ramsey, because then one side of the field is locked down. So far, Sidney Jones has looked pretty good. He hasn't looked great, but he has looked pretty good. I haven't had anything to really complain about him. It's been Darby, and it's been what's this man's name? And Rasul Douglas. So the Jags are asking for 2 first-round picks. Obviously, if that's what it takes, I guess do it. But if it was up to me, I'd say, yo, you get a first for this next draft. You get a third from the year after that draft, 2021's draft. And I'll give you Ronald Darby, because he may not be good now, but once he's healed completely, a year removed from the ACL, trust me, he'll be back to normal. And that's another good cornerback for your defense, okay? So you can keep him if you want, whatever, do what you want with him. But I'm saying he will be better, because remember, he did have to suffer an ACL. And he's not going to be the same guy he was. How do we know this? Because we saw it last year from Carson Wentz. Because we saw it last year from Jason Peters. So trust me, we know. And then I'll also say this. The Cowboys just released Taco Charlton. He was pretty disappointing. I think he was dropped in 2017. He only had like 4 sacks, I think. So they cut him. They weren't even using that man. Like, you're like, oh, you're trash, but we're not going to use you. So they cut him today. He wanted to go out. He wanted to leave, so they cut him. I think we need to sign him. Not because he's a Dallas Cowboy, or a former Cowboy. Not because, oh, he can tell us their weaknesses so we can get after him. No. I'm thinking we get him because it'll help for our defensive line. Because, as I said, our defensive line, is it getting pressure? Yes, but it's not getting there. And because our defensive backs cannot hold up all that much, that's still giving the quarterbacks time to do what they need to do. But if you add Taco Charlton to that, he's going to be motivated because he wants to prove himself that he is a good NFL player. Plus, when we play the Cowboys, it will be extra motivation because they're the team that cut him and said, you stink. So that's just extra motivation. And who doesn't need extra motivation? We all need some extra motivation. So, because I'm telling you, we cannot win with this defense. Why do you think Aaron Rodgers was so happy when he's like, we got a defense? Because for years he had to put the team on his back. I don't want that for Carson Wentz. Patrick Mahomes knows all too well. He had the lead when he left the game in the AFC Championship game. Tom Brady goes on the field, he ties it, and he has the game-winning drive in overtime. Patrick Mahomes never ever saw the ball. Why? Because his defense is trash. I don't want that for Carson Wentz because that's what's going to hold this team back. If the offense plays like they should, which I still believe they can and will, and get their act together, that's fine. But the defense is going to be the death of this team. It will be. Especially when we have to go up against quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and dare I say Dak Prescott now because he has looked good. And we have to go up against receivers like Devontae Adams, Thielen and Diggs, Antonio Brown, DK Metcalf. We got to go up against not Randall Cobb. Well, I guess technically, yeah, he's on the Cowboys now. What's that man's name? Amari Cooper twice. You know, and a rookie from the Redskins, he looks pretty good because I was watching the Redskins versus Cowboy game last week. So we got to go against a lot of good receivers. And we need Jalen Ramsey. He will shut down that side of the field. You see what this man did to DeAndre Hopkins? He's one of the top 3, 4, maybe best receivers in the league. And we're going against most of them in the NFC. So if we can shut down that side of the field and shut down that... Oh, dare I mention Antonio Brown? Unless I didn't say him. So if we shut down that side of the field and we have pressure from the... We back in business. And dare I say, we may even be able to win the Super Bowl. I'll be back on that train. Because right now, I don't think anybody can beat the Patriots. But if you get pressure from this line and we have one side of the field shut down, and I already have faith that the offense will do its job, you might as well hand me that Lombardi trophy now. So this is going a little bit too long, but this is basically it. Just in case you forgot, keys to victory: run the ball, use the unknown factor of Arthega Whiteside and Mac Hollins, catch teams by surprise, use Ertz when he's out. Don't force it to him. And when the timing is right, throw a little bit of Nelson Aguilar in that mix. And obviously Carson Wentz is going to do his thing. I believe in him. And let's just go get this W. And let's just do our job. Do I gotta go Bill Belichick on y'all? Do your job. Let's do it. We're at home. Let's just do what we gotta do. And let's get this W. And then focus on Green Bay, alright? So until next time, if you're not down with that, I've just got 3 words for you. Fly, Eagles, fly. Peace out. I'll see you Sunday after the game.